On the evening of September 12, 1952, several children in a small town in West Virginia looked up at the sky and saw something strange. A bright object moving across the darkness. Some described it as a fireball. Others said it looked like a glowing craft descending toward the hills outside town. Moments later, the object appeared to crash somewhere in the forest near the community of Flatwoods. Curious and excited, the children ran toward the hill where the object had fallen. They were joined by a few adults who wanted to see what had landed. But when they reached the top of the hill, they didn't find wreckage. They didn't find smoke. Instead, they claimed they saw something standing in the darkness, something tall, something with glowing eyes, something that did not look human. Within hours, the story spread across the town. Within days, it spread across the country. The event would become known as one of the strangest encounters of the 1950s. This is the story of what people claim they saw that night, the case that became known as the Flatwoods Monster. Before we open the file, subscribe to the channel. This archive explores strange encounters, unexplained sightings, and historical mysteries that people continue to debate decades later. Now, let's open the file. The events that would later become known as the Flatwoods Monster incident took place in Braxton County, West Virginia. At the time, Flatwoods was a quiet rural community surrounded by forests and farmland. Life there was simple. Most people knew each other. News traveled quickly through the town. And on the evening of September 12, 1952, something unusual appeared in the sky. Several local boys were outside playing when they noticed a bright object moving overhead. The object appeared to travel quickly before descending behind a nearby hill. Believing something had crashed, the boys ran to tell one of their mothers. Soon, a small group formed to investigate what had happened. Among them were two young boys, their mother, a teenager member of the National Guard, and a few other curious locals. Together, they began walking toward the hill where the object had reportedly landed. None of them expected what they would later claim to see. As the group approached the hill, they noticed something unusual. A strange mist seemed to hang in the air. Some witnesses later described a strong metallic smell. Others said it reminded them of sulfur. The group continued climbing the hill with a flashlight. When the beam of light reached the top of the hill, it illuminated something unexpected. According to the witnesses, a tall figure stood in the distance. The creature appeared to be several feet taller than a human. Some estimates placed its height at nearly 3 meters. Its shape was unlike anything they had seen before. Witnesses described a body that appeared dark or metallic. Around its head was what looked like a large hood or pointed shape, and near the center of that shape, they saw something glowing. 2 bright lights, possibly eyes. When the beam of the flashlight hit the figure, it seemed to move. Some witnesses claimed the creature floated or glided slightly above the ground. Others said it slowly turned toward them. The reaction was immediate. The group panicked and ran down the hill. They returned to town and reported what they had seen. In the days following the incident, witnesses gave several descriptions of the creature. Although their stories varied slightly, many details remained consistent. They described a tall figure with a dark body. Its head appeared large and oddly shaped, almost like a hood or a pointed helmet. Some said the creature's face glowed red or orange. Others said they saw 2 bright lights where the eyes would be. Witnesses also reported long arms that extended from the sides of the body. Some accounts even suggested that the arms ended in claw-like shapes. Another unusual detail was the creature's movement. Instead of walking normally, some witnesses said it appeared to glide, almost as if it was floating. These strange descriptions quickly captured the attention of the media. Within days, newspapers across the United States began reporting on the encounter. At the time, the early 1950s were already filled with stories about flying objects and mysterious sightings. The Flatwoods encounter quickly became part of that wave of reports. Journalists arrived in the small town to interview witnesses. Sketch artists attempted to recreate the appearance of the creature based on their descriptions. The resulting image became one of the most famous drawings in cryptid history. It showed a tall figure with a large spade-shaped head and glowing eyes. The creature appeared almost mechanical. Some observers thought it resembled an alien. Others believed it looked more like a strange suit or costume. But regardless of interpretation, the image quickly spread across newspapers and magazines. Soon, the story reached national audiences. Local authorities investigated the area where the object was said to have landed. However, they found no clear evidence of a crash. No wreckage, no impact crater, no signs of a spacecraft. Some investigators suggested the witnesses might have seen a meteor. In fact, reports confirm that a meteor was observed in the sky over several states that same evening. This explanation could account for the bright object the children saw, but it did not explain the creature described on the hill. Other investigators suggested the witnesses may have encountered a large animal. One theory proposed that the creature was actually a barn owl sitting on a branch. When illuminated by a flashlight at night, a barn owl's eyes can appear bright and reflective. Combined with shadows from nearby trees, the owl's shape might have appeared much larger. However, not everyone accepted that explanation. Some witnesses insisted what they saw was far larger than any bird. Several people reported feeling sick after the encounter. Symptoms included burning in the eyes, irritation in the throat, and nausea. Some believed this could have been caused by a gas released from whatever object landed on the hill. Others suggested it might have been caused by fear and adrenaline. Still, the reports added another layer of mystery to the case. Over the decades, many different theories have attempted to explain the Flatwoods Monster incident. Some believe the witnesses encountered an extraterrestrial visitor. The unusual appearance of the creature and the glowing object in the sky support this idea for some people. Others believe the entire event was a misunderstanding, a meteor in the sky, a frightened group of witnesses, and an owl perched on a tree branch in the darkness. Together, these elements may have created a moment of confusion that turned into a lasting legend. There are also theories suggesting the event may have involved experimental aircraft or secret military technology. However, no evidence has ever confirmed those ideas. Despite the lack of clear answers, the Flatwoods Monster incident remains one of the most famous cryptid stories in American history. Part of the reason is the number of witnesses involved. Unlike many stories told by a single person, this event included several people who all claimed to see something unusual. Another reason is the timing. The early 1950s were a period when interest in flying saucers and mysterious creatures was growing rapidly. Stories like the Flatwoods encounter captured the imagination of the public. Even today, the town of Flatwoods embraces the legend. Statues and museum exhibits have been created based on the creature's description. Visitors travel to the area hoping to learn more about the mystery. More than 70 years have passed since the night of September 12, 1952. The witnesses have grown older. Some have passed away, and the forested hill where the encounter supposedly happened has remained mostly unchanged. Was the Flatwoods Monster an extraterrestrial visitor? A misunderstood animal seen in the darkness? or simply a moment of confusion that grew into a legend? The answer may never be known, but the story continues to be told. And as long as people look up at the sky and wonder what might be out there, the mystery of the Flatwoods Monster will remain open. Until the next file.